For centuries it just sat there, unmoved and unbothered, indifferent to every person who walked past it, and every expedition that came and went without ever asking the one question that actually mattered. Why is that rock there? Not how it got there, or what geological force might have shifted it into position thousands of years ago. Why that specific weight? Why that specific location? Why does a 40,000-pound boulder sit over that exact point in the ground of Lot 8 with a precision that no natural explanation has ever been able to satisfactorily account for? The Lagina brothers asked that question. The Fellowship of Oak Island asked that question. And today, with a crane and a cable, and the kind of stubborn refusal to accept defeat that has defined this search from the very beginning, they finally got an answer. Because what was underneath that rock was not ground. It was a secret, built by human hands, sealed by human fear, and hidden beneath 40,000 pounds of Nova Scotia granite for longer than anyone alive today has been alive. And it is open now. Welcome back, everyone. Drop a comment and let me know where you are watching from. This community spans the whole world, and that never gets old. And if this community has ever come together for a moment that was genuinely worth showing up for, tonight is that moment. The boulder is gone, the feature is exposed, and what the team found underneath 40,000 pounds of deliberately placed rock on Lot 8 this morning is not the kind of discovery that gets quietly walked back or filed away for further review. It is a man-made feature with a geometry of deliberate construction, and it appears to be hiding a shaft leading directly into whatever has been buried on this island since before anyone alive today was born. The secret that rock was keeping is out, and the story of how it was found starts right now. To understand what this actually means, you have to stop and think about what 40,000 pounds represents in the real world. A fully loaded school bus weighs around 15,000 pounds, and the boulder sitting over this feature in Lot 8 outweighed nearly 3 of them. This was not something that drifted into position through centuries of erosion or settled by accident over a significant point in the ground. Its placement, that specific coverage precise position over a specific man-made feature, is not the result of glacial movement or geological coincidence. Someone put it there, and moving 40,000 pounds of stone to a precise location is not a quiet or simple operation. It requires equipment, it requires organized labor working in coordination over an extended period of time, and it requires the kind of absolute commitment that only comes from knowing exactly what is below and exactly what it would mean for the wrong people to find it. The crane operators brought in to handle the lift are professionals who move large and difficult things for a living. And they described the moment the boulder broke free of the earth in terms that had very little to do with the mechanical achievement, though the achievement itself was real. What they kept coming back to was the silence. The specific, weighted history-saturated silence that settled over Lot 8 the instant that rock came loose. The way the team stopped moving. The way nobody spoke. As if the island itself had been holding its breath for centuries and had finally, reluctantly, exhaled. What should be beneath a 40,000-pound boulder is ordinary earth, compacted soil and broken rock, and the unremarkable subsurface of a small Nova Scotia island doing what geology does over long stretches. What is beneath this boulder has edges and consistent angles and the confirmed, instrument-verified signature of deliberate human construction. It is man-made, and that single word changes everything that comes after it. The word moved through the fellowship in a current that was low and urgent and barely controlled. Not unusual, not anomalous, not something to flag for the geologists before drawing conclusions. Man-made. Because man-made does not mean a geological curiosity or centuries of erosion, producing shapes that resemble intentional construction from a favorable angle. It means that someone stood in this exact location with tools and a clear purpose and built something, and then covered that something with the most effective seal available to them, and then left this island without coming back, and without leaving any clear record of who they were or what they had done, or why they had done it with such evident and total desperation. What the feature appears to conceal is a shaft, an engineered access point leading downward into the underground architecture that this team has spent years trying to understand and reach and prove, was real against the skepticism of people who had never stood on this island and felt the weight of knowing the evidence was there even when it would not come forward. The evidence is no longer below the surface. It is sitting in the open air of Lot 8 with the Atlantic wind moving across it, and a group of experienced treasure hunters standing around it in complete silence because they understand exactly what they are looking at and what it means and how long it took to get here. If this entrance is what every measurement and every instrument and every trained eye on site is saying it is, then the engineering sophistication of whoever built this place is not a theory anymore. It is confirmed in the dirt of Lot 8 on an ordinary Tuesday morning that turned out to be anything but ordinary. The logistics of what the team is now standing over deserve a moment because they are genuinely staggering. Whoever sealed this feature did not act alone and did not act quickly. Moving 40,000 pounds of stone to a precise location requires planning and resources and a coordinated team of people who understood what they were doing and why, and who then took everything they knew about this place and this secret into their graves without a word. The silence surrounding the construction of whatever lies beneath Oak Island is one of the most complete silences in the history of this continent. Not the silence of something that never happened, but the silence of something that happened with full intent and left no trail, because leaving a trail was the one thing the people involved simply could not afford. History is full of people who hid things. Coins in jars and documents in walls and small valuables tucked away against uncertainty with every intention of coming back for them. But nobody puts 40,000 pounds of rock over a coin in a jar. Nobody commits that level of resource and permanence and brutal absolute concealment to something that is not worth the effort many times over. The scale of the seal is its own evidence. The boulder is not just a rock. It is a statement made by people who knew exactly what was below it and decided with complete conviction that discovery could not be allowed to happen. It happened today, and the question hanging over Lot 8 in the cold Nova Scotia air is not what is down there. It is what were they so afraid of that they did this. It would not be Oak Island if the discovery arrived without the island immediately reminding everyone of who is really in charge, and even now with the boulder gone, and the feature confirmed, the complications are already arriving. Water is a concern because water is always a concern here. Ground stability around the exposed feature is a concern. The age of what lies below is a concern because opening something that has been sealed this long introduces variables that even careful planning cannot fully anticipate. The fellowship moves with the patience of people who have paid dearly for impatience before. Every measurement is taken before anything is touched, every observation documented before the next step is decided, every expert consulted before any action is taken that cannot be reversed. This team has read what happened to the searchers who moved fast and loved the prize more than they respected the process, and they are not going to be the generation that found the entrance and destroyed what was inside it. Not after everything it took to move that boulder, and not with whatever is waiting just below their boots. The crane is still now, and the chains lie in the Lot 8 grass. The boulder sits displaced to one side, its centuries-long vigil finally and permanently over. In the earth, the man-made feature is open for what may be the first time since the people who built it walked away from this island and never returned. It does not explain itself or announce itself. It simply exists the way it has always existed, patient and present, waiting with the quiet confidence of something that always knew this moment was coming. The fellowship stands at the edge of it and looks down into it, and the weight of what this moment means is written clearly on every face present. A 40,000-pound rock kept this secret for centuries. It held through wars and the collapse of empires, and the deaths of every person who ever came close to finding it. It held through floods and cave-ins, and 230 years of the most determined treasure hunt in recorded history. And then a team from Michigan with a crane and a refusal to quit moved it out of the way on a Tuesday morning, and the secret was just there, right there in the ground where it had always been, waiting. What is at the bottom of that shaft is no longer hidden behind 40,000 pounds of rock. It is only hidden behind the ground itself now, and the ground on Oak Island has never stopped the fellowship before. What comes next you do not want to miss.